Rajasthan Royals, similar to Chennai Super Kings, I think they had a pretty easy decision-making process because Stokes was out of cricket for a long time due to understandable reasons. Archer hasn't been keeping fit, so they went with Sanju Samson, who will continue to be the captain. I would understand 14 crores. Jos Buttler, I think great retention because there were talks floating around that he will be released in auction and RCB will go for it instead of ABD. And then Yashasvi Jaiswal, again, great option of investment, 4 crores, which will leave them with 62 crores in purse. Vishak?
Yeah, I think Sanju Samson, I think they wanted to invest in the captain. They didn't want to go into the auction looking for a captain. And I think he performed pretty well this season as well with the bat. He was not, I think he was among the top 3 or 4 highest run scorers. And he scored more than around 500 runs as well. So I think he performed pretty well. So they have repaid the faith in him and given him the captaincy as well, hoping he will deliver. And Jos Buttler at the top, I think they made a wise decision. He can be a backup keeper as well. Sanju Samson is already a keeper. He can be a backup keeper. And if Sanju Samson wants to focus on captaincy and doesn't want to keep, Jos Buttler can keep. And he gives you at the top. He's one of the most destructive batsmen. You have seen how he has performed for Rajasthan Royals and even for England. So I think that was a no-brainer. Yashasvi Jaiswal, I think last season first season he was a little bit of a disappointment, but if you see last season the way he batted, he was taking on the bowlers. He was pretty aggressive. I think it's a pretty good investment, and I think they've looked at the future and they've just invested in him, which is a good thing. But one thing I'm surprised is they could have gone for someone like a Chetan Sakaria was around 6 crores. He would have easily come for 6. He is a cap player, but he could have still come for around 6 crores, and they could have covered a good bowler as well. So I think that is where they missed the trick.
Interesting. And Akash, from a combination point of view, they have a keeper who can bat really well. They have an opening batsman and a good upcoming all-rounder. Again, thought process here is to stack up all-rounders and batters, knowing Rajasthan Royals. Any thoughts there in terms of team combinations? Who will they look for in the auction?
I think it will be purely all-rounders and bowlers which they'll be looking for, because they have the top 3 out there, right in there. Yashasvi, Jos and Sanju. They are the top 3. So if you have all-rounders and bowlers, that completes the team. Maybe they could have gone for, like how Vishak said, Chetan Sakaria or even Karthik Tyagi for that matter. He was also a decent performer for them and would have been good at 4 crores. They could have covered at least one Indian bowler already before entering the auction. Now they have to build the entire bowling squad right from scratch. Apart from that, I think these were all givens. Sanju Samson and Jos Buttler definitely had to be retained. Good to see that they showed faith on Yashasvi Jaiswal out there.
Yeah, and I'll say one thing. If you remember the last auction, Chris Morris got paid 16 crores, I think, 15 or 16 crores, right? So teams can get desperate and supply-demand constraints can move up the price. So I was a bit surprised. Maybe they should have retained Stokes. He's a world-class all-rounder. And what happens is, let's say, even if he's injured or if he doesn't play, you get that money back and you can, get some replacements out there. So I would have liked to seen Stokes or Archer. Archer more injury prone, more risk, but Stokes was a good option. And as you both mentioned, there were a bunch of uncapped players as well, right? So, or Indian players whom they could have picked. Maybe they thought we could get them in the auction for the same price. So maybe that's the thinking around it.